Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and we've got some new Doctor Who news, and it's starting out strong, and I just was not surprised about this news, but it is really funny to see this coming from the current regime at Doctor Who, one of the new actors taking on the show for the 60th anniversary and perhaps into the future. Anyone who has any doubt that things will stay the same, any doubt that things will just continue down the path that was set on by Chris Chibnall and the woke BBC can have their hesitation assuaged by these comments by Yasmin Finney, the new actor for Rose Noble in the upcoming 60th anniversary special. But we have this article here from Vogue, which has an interview with this Yasmin Finney, who is a trans actress who is taking over as the companion role, it seems like. I thought it would just be temporarily for the 60th anniversary, but this article does mention that Yasmin will be the companion for the 14th Doctor going forward, or the 15th Doctor with Ncuti Gatwa. It specifically says this actor will be Ncuti Gatwa's companion going forward, which was something that I was surprised to see. I thought it would just be a small role in the 60th anniversary, but it seems like it's going to be bigger going into the future. But I do want to briefly say, these images aren't as convincing as the behind-the-scenes ones from the Doctor Who set. The behind-the-scenes ones, I was surprised to find out about Yasmin's history. These images make me surprised that I was surprised. But we have this article here from Vogue that says, Yasmin Finney's casting in Doctor Who, it will change the world. It will change the world, everyone. Doesn't matter if it's good, doesn't matter if it's well written, doesn't matter if it's well acted. It's the fact that a trans person exists in Doctor Who. That's all that matters. I'm getting strong Eternals vibes from this situation. Because Eternals are just like, oh, we're like the most diverse to ever diverse in the diversity history of diverseness. And that was all that was important about that movie. No one cared about the script. No one cared about the quality. No one cared about the performances. It was just, we're diverse, so we're good. No, Eternals was garbage from as far as I'm aware. So, diversity isn't an all clean stamp of approval making everything good all of a sudden, and it seems to be the perspective that this actor is taking going forward. But this is a very, very long article that mainly talks about the history of the transition for Yasmin, the reasons why Yasmin decided to make the transition, and some of the traumatic things from Yasmin's childhood. Whatever, I want to focus on the Doctor Who aspect of things. But it's really quite profound, the type of stuff that is in this article, if you're interested. And yeah, not super convincing in this one either. And her next gig, that of Rose, the companion of the Doctor, to be played by Ncuti Gatwa, that's what I was referring to. I'm not sure if that is a typo or if it's a factually incorrect statement, or if Yasmin will indeed be the companion of Ncuti Gatwa going forward. But regardless, Yasmin is going to be in the 60th anniversary coming up, is only going to heighten the hype around her. Yeah, the hype is so massive. I didn't know who Yasmin was before the announcement of the 60th anniversary casting of Rose Noble, which, again, doesn't make any sense. Rose Noble is being named after Rose Tyler, apparently. It is the child of Donna Noble, the companion for seasons 4 of Doctor Who. Why would that be the case? Donna doesn't remember who Rose is, A, and if the child is transgender in the story, if the child was born a certain way at first, wouldn't have been named Rose at birth. So the child chose the name Rose once transition happened? It doesn't make any sense. This child should not be named Rose after Rose Tyler. It doesn't make any sense. But this comment comes from Yasmin. It will change the world, she says knowingly, eyes sparkling over high cheekbones. It will change the world, everybody. Trans people exist in Doctor Who, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter. That's the thing, though. I don't think anyone would care in a sort of certain characters if it was well written. Captain Jack is a perfect example of that. He's an omnisexual creature from outer space and the future, and nobody cares because he's awesome. His story, his writing, his performance came first before all that. He wasn't just the gay one like he ended up being in Torchwood. Same thing with this. Just say, hey, this is a good character that's good for these reasons and who happens to be trans. Cool. I think a lot of people could learn to like this character. No, they're coming at it from, this is the trans character who will change the world because transness. It's not a way to win over the audience who's been so disillusioned by the current regime and the past regime and the decisions that have been made surrounding the show for so very many years now. But continuing in this very inclusive iteration, that's all that matters. It's very inclusive, everyone. We're not worried about the scripts. It's just very inclusive. I'm happy to be the representation on the show that means a lot to so many. Again, if anyone is seeing purely attachment to characters based on superficial attributes of a character, that is not a good mental state. That is narcissism to a certain extent. If you cannot relate to anyone who does not look or sound like you to a certain extent, that is a problem. I can relate to so many different characters across so many different backgrounds, different physical attributes, men, women, any race. It's about the story, it's about their heart, it's about their character. And yes, diversity is fine in and of itself, but the story still needs to come first. The characters still need to come first. And if any audience member is like, oh, I can't like that movie because someone doesn't look like me in it, that is a problem. That's a problem that needs to be worked on. But that's the mentality of current day Hollywood and the current consumer fan base is, oh, I see myself, so it's good. I see myself, that means it's good. No, it still needs to be well written, and you need to be able to relate to other characters that don't look like you. And it seems like Yasmin is still in that mentality is, trans people can like Doctor Who now because they weren't allowed to before. Even though in this article, Yasmin says that Yasmin grew up watching Doctor Who and knew Who and loving it. So little contradictory, but we always see that same contradiction every single time something like this comes up. But continuing, Finney has always felt a call to represent. It was on TikTok. Of course, Finney is a TikTok star. Why am I not surprised when she currently has 1.8 million followers and counting? Jesus, that's a lot more than I was expecting. And she found her first audience creating videos about the trans experience and the most viral of across reactions on learning. Wow. TikTok star, now in charge of a Doctor Who character. That's not a sign spelling for disaster. Not at all. TikTok stars, they're known for being very compelling performers that bring such great and three-dimensional characters to life. That's like TikTok and those characters are synonymous with each other, right? It's so sad dating as a trans person because you've got to explain yourself to people like, oh, hey, look, I hope you don't mind, and then prepare for answers that shouldn't be the case. Yes, whatever. I don't really care about the personal life of Finney, but it is not a bad thing that people need to know that information because sexual orientation covers what the genitalia is involved. And if the genitalia is not what you're expecting, it's okay not to be attracted to it. I don't know why that's such a big deal these days, but like there's a big article that said, 98% of straight men will not have sex with trans women. It's like, well, apparently 2% of straight men are gay. It's not that complicated, but whatever. I don't want to get into the personal life too much. But yeah, the rest of this is purely about the personal life of Yasmin, about why Yasmin went through the transition and all that. And it's whatever. I don't really care about that. But the fact that it's going from this perspective on the production side of thing, the fact that Yasmin is coming at it from this perspective is that the fact that a trans character is in Doctor Who will change the world and make the show accessible to a new audience that never was accessible before. It's all the buzzwords we've heard so many times, and it does not spell well for the future of Doctor Who. And the little interest that I have, the sliver that's surviving with the RTD announcement is fast slipping away with every single announcement that is made regarding the future of this series going forward. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.